Ellen's just read The Ministry of Time. So have I, to be fair. We've just read The Ministry of Time. And Ellen's got a new fictional boyfriend, except that he's not fictional. He's a real man from the 1800s.
And the likelihood that he and I could actually meet, because he was real, very high.
He's dead.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Horny Book Club. I'm Ellen.
And I'm Alice.
And this week, what is it?
What is it? What's it called?
What are we going to call it? Well, we're going to call it
Spin the Wheel.
Spin the Wheel.
But we're doing a sort of a different episode this week.
Yeah.
We're not covering a specific book. Instead, we're kind of covering all books. Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Before we start, don't forget you can follow us on Instagram at the H Book Club. You can follow us on YouTube at HBC Podcast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.
Turn the bell on. Send us emails, hornybookclub@gmail.com. Follow us on your preferred podcast platform. Rate us 5 stars.
That was so quick and speedy. Wow. If you listen to us, you'll know that when talking about particular books, particular authors, let's be honest, the books we're not huge fans of normally, we say that the authors have come up with these ideas and these tropes and putting them together by spinning a random wheel. So, for example, November 9th, it was spin that wheel, arson, and poetry.
I literally couldn't remember what that book was about, and then I was like, oh yes, arson.
Tessa Bailey's a classic spin the wheel. You can't tell me she's not coming up with her books by not spinning wheels.
Say to them what you sent me the other day about Tessa Bailey, by the way.
You guys.
Oh no.
You might have seen it if you're on the book side of Instagram and TikTok. Tessa Bailey is doing weird adverts with Benny Blanco,
crazy.
Selena Gomez's boyfriend, who I think has come out with a book, like a cookbook.
A chef.
He's a chef. He's come out with a chef book. I think he's come out with a cookbook. But I actually could be pulling that out of thin air.
No, it's a cookbook.
Okay.
Open wide.
Horrific, actually.
Ooh,
horrible.
A cookbook for friends.
They're doing all of these videos together where they are like talking about what's going on in each other's book. He's like, how long does it take you to write these? And she says, 2 months. So any hate we get of people being like, don't disrespect authors like that, all we ever say is that Tessa Bailey's writing these books too quick. And do you know what? Proof now. She's admitted it herself.
2
months.
Oh, it just kind of makes me
and
sad.
it kind of makes me understand Wreck the Halls a bit more. Like, yeah, this feels like it was written in 2 months, babe.
Well, fucking
fangirl down. Yeah.
So
if you're a long time listener, you'll know we talk about authors spinning the wheel a lot.
Especially Tessa Bailey spin the wheel. That's like a phrase we always say.
Tessa Bailey spin the wheel. And I thought, let's put our money where our mouths are.
Let's put our money where our mouths is.
Today, what we're going to do is we've created some wheels. We're going to spin them.
Yeah.
And we're going to see if we can come up with some sort of better romance book synopsis.
Yeah.
Than the books that we discuss on this podcast. We've created some wheels.
Wheelofnames.com.
Thank you, wheelofnames.com, for sponsoring this episode. We have 3 wheels. We have one that is general romance trope. So we have mafia. We have second chance. We have friends to lovers. Grumpy sunshine. Fake dating. Forced proximity. Age gap. Best friend's brother. Enemies to lovers. And bad dad can't love. Bad dad can't love, otherwise known as anti-Bridgerton. Sex tropes. So we have workplace. So they've got shag in the workplace. She can't come. He has to teach her how to come.
Yeah.
Lady in the streets, freak in the sheets. But actually it should be man in the streets, sheets. What? Man in the streets, freak in the sheets.
That's basically just Aiden from window shopping.
And we have dom sub, edging, obviously a classic. OnlyFans, reverse harem, bad dirty talk, golden shower, and public sex. And then we have our final wheel, which is just like random shit. Yeah, like a factor about their lives that we have to add into it. So for that, we have stepbrothers, we have sharks,
yes,
we have fantasy, reality TV, the monarchy, afterlife, stag do or hen do, pick your own sport, the circus, and cellist.
The circus. What's a rogue one?
And cellist, I think, is from the Iron Flame episode, so they're not going to get it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. Iron Flame, you'll see that eventually. Alice is scared to edit it.
I'm so scared to edit it.
Because the camera kept getting knocked over by the cat.
It was so strange.
She lost some of her audio. She's going to have to dub it.
Oh, guys, just hang tight.
I'm worried you'll never have the strength.
Me too, honestly. Anyway, so those are our wheels.
Yeah.
We also have fun things that we are going to try and sneak in to every book.
Each book you have to have one of these, and that is
Dry Humping.
a classic.
A classic. Butt Stuff.
Another
classic.
And Choking. Another classic.
So we're going to try and fit, because we put them in the wheel and we were like, they're everything. They're in every
That's
book.
everything. That's the thing, is it's like, those are also sex acts, as we know, but like they are sort of like, in every book, it's either like someone's dry humping, someone's doing butt stuff, someone's choking, or they're doing all three. Okay, so I think we want to do trope. How we want to do is trope first, then sex act, then random thing at the end, right?
So, trope. We're spinning the wheel. Okay. I'm nervous.
It's going to be up here. You're going to see it.
Okay, ready? 3,
I'm going to
2,
look at the wheel.
Spin that wheel! Ooh. Okay.
Oh.
Grumpy Sunshine is
Grumpy
our first
Sunshine.
trope.
Who's going first?
You can if you like. And then, okay, so we've got Grumpy Sunshine.
Okay, I've got Grumpy Sunshine.
Here's our sex act. Spin that wheel!
What do I want?
What do you want?
What do I want? I can't remember any of them. Oh no, what is it? Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, it's reverse harem.
So we've got Grumpy Sunshine, reverse harem.
A word I don't know how to pronounce. Right. Random thing, I want shark.
You want shark?
What is it?
You've got circus. Just to recap, we've got Grumpy Sunshine, reverse harem, and they're at the circus.
That's hard. Grumpy Sunshine, reverse harem is hard. Okay, here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Pretty basic, but given that we're at the circus.
Yeah.
You know when you're at the circus, and I'm thinking like, you know when you're at the circus. Cirque du Soleil here. Not like fucking tigers in cages. I'm thinking Cirque du Soleil.
Okay, interesting.
I'm not going down the clowns route. I cannot.
Oh, fuck!
I'm not Tessa Bowling. They're a group of acrobats.
Okay.
And it's one girl and 3 guys.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of sometimes how it is, where like it's like the 3 of the men are the base. Yeah. And then she does
Yeah. And you know what as well? That gives you a nice way of, you can have some like varying kind of, sounds weird to say, body sizes, body types, because you can have the main base guy, massive. He can be the grump.
Well, let me get there.
Okay.
Let me
but
get
then
there.
you can have like...
You can have your turn, my friend.
No, we're just doing it together. I just want to be
We were
involved.
taking turns. I think she is grumpy.
Wow, okay.
And all 3 of them are sunshine.
Wow, okay.
The reason she's grumpy is because she was going to be an Olympic gymnast.
Nice.
But she got like an injury. No. She didn't have enough money to... She's in America. Famously, American sports people, very little funding.
Yeah.
She didn't have enough money to make it as an Olympic gymnast. So she was like, fuck it, I've got to get a job. What job can I get? Okay, I'm going to join Cirque du Soleil adjacent company.
No, please don't copyright us.
And they're like, you're going to be like the main girl because you're like really good at flips and you're really strong and you can hang from like the ring on the ceiling.
You know, have you seen those TikToks of where it's like...
Have you seen my dad?
Have you seen my dad?
I really reminded me of that. I was just like...
Have you seen those TikToks where it's like day 1 on the death wheel, and it's the act Cirque du Soleil, and she's like on this wheel that has these stands on, and she's like bouncing, or like they're trying to do like this really complicated flip thing, and it's like day 1 of trying the death flip, and then it's like day, show day, and it's like that, and it's like she's got some like really crazy trick she has to learn for it.
Yeah, she's got to learn this like crazy trick. She's grumpy because she's like, I'm not living my dream of this stupid fucking circus. These guys are like, I love being in Cirque du Soleil, and also because we've all been on tour together, we've all been fucking.
And surely the 3 guys, or at least 2 of the guys, have to have known each other for forever.
It's giving challenges. 2 of them went to like Cirque du Soleil school together.
Yeah, I love Cirque du Soleil school.
Cirque du Soleil. See my dad?
Have you seen my dad?
At least 2 of them went to Cirque du Soleil school together, I think.
Oh, and then the 3rd one's like really like quiet and really like a bit like nerdy, and they like took him under his wing when he joined.
Yeah,
I can see it now. She arrives day 1 and like she's being shown around, and whoever's showing them around, the ringleader, I don't know, is like, the ringleader. Oh, those guys over there, like, they're like the popular ones. Yeah.
And they're the two of them who have gone to school together and have definitely sucked each other off.
Yeah.
Are like kind of like shoving each other, jumping around, catching each other, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then there's
homoerotic vibe.
there's like that he's like a little bit. He's still like jacked, obviously, because circus, but he's like a bit smaller. He's got maybe like slightly longer hair. One of his eyes is covered.
he's got an eye patch.
My preference is at the, and I'm skipping to the end now, but my preference would be that actually they don't finish the book as a harem. They finish the book as two couples. She ends up with the shy guy, and the two guys who have been together forever, just because I'm projecting challenges. I'm like, they just are like, actually, we just love each other.
Yeah. So it's like they've been like fucking for however long.
Yeah.
And like bring other people into it. Not to be like it's less gay. They're very fine with being bisexual men in my head.
Yeah.
But are like, oh no, but we're like best buddies. So like we can't be in love.
We went to Cirque du Soleil
So like
together.
we like just get other people involved because it's just fun. It's all about the other people. It's not about us. But by the end, they're like, maybe it's like they become more of a relationship like as a quad for a bit, and that makes those two guys who've known each other for ages be like, actually, I like this side of it with you.
And they kind of like split off. Yeah.
And my question to you is, what are you adding in? Dry humping, choking, or butt stuff?
Oh, good question. It's gonna have to be butt stuff, I think. There's so many men involved.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think you can do reverse harem
and have no butt stuff.
and have the men not doing it.
No, you've got, that's to me like,
Isn't that what's happening in
like
Psycho Shifters?
Yeah, in Psycho
exactly.
Shifters, they're
There we
all
go.
doing, apart from the voyeur. But the others are doing stuff with each other.
Maybe the third guy is also kind of grumpy.
Yeah.
They bring him out and then they all bring her out together. At the end, they become like, at the end, before the split off of the relationships, they like end up doing like the hardest trick ever for a group. And then her Olympic coaches come back and are like, we want you back.
We've got the funding.
We saw you online and now everyone wants to fund and Nike wants to sponsor you and blah, blah. And she's like, no.
I found my tribe.
I'm Cirque du Soleil for life, bitch.
Yeah, I love that.
Does that sound actually
That sounds
really
really good. I was going to say, do you know what the miscommunication could be? The obvious one.
Yeah.
It could be around someone drops her or something.
Ooh, yeah, and she loses trust.
And it's like...
And then all three of them are like, whose fault was it?
Yeah,
because all three of us are the base.
Say the three of them have had like a row.
Yeah.
And then like that stops them being able to work together.
Yeah, they're
to the point
fighting
that
underneath her and then she
Yeah.
gets dropped and then she's
Yeah.
like, you guys have to figure this out because I'm not going to get hurt. Yeah. And then they're like, we work better as a group when we're two couples.
Oh my God. It writes itself, truly.
I'm pushing my agenda here. That's just my preference though.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that they can't.
Because that Lily
then,
Gold book made me scared.
Yeah. But like every now and then they'll all get together.
Swingers!
They'll all get together for a little shag.
They swing her around at work.
Oh,
and they're
swinging and they're swinging.
They're swinging while they're swinging.
There's a double meet. That could be the name of the book or something.
Swingers? No.
No.
Circus swingers. That's like Psycho Shifters.
Night at the circus.
No, because that's fucking the night circus.
Oh yeah. Something about flipping for you. My heart flips for you.
Flipping for you's not bad.
Flipping around. Flipping back to you.
Flipping back to that's not bad.
Flipping back to you. But that sounds like they've known each other before.
Oh yeah. Okay. Flipping towards you.
Flipping towards you.
I think the heart. Something about the heart and the flip.
Yeah.
Flip my heart. Flip. My heart flips a beat.
I like my heart flips a beat.
I like my heart flips a beat as well.
That was my heart flips a beat. Perfect. Should we spin some more wheels?
Spin the wheel. So now we're doing it for Alice.
Okay.
Here we go.
Spin that wheel. Oh. Why am I scared? Oh, second chance. My heart flipping back to you.
Flipping back to you. So
got
second chance. When we do the third one, you should close your eyes.
Okay.
So it's a surprise.
Oh no!
She's got Dom sub.
Dom sub, and I didn't want it.
Second chance. Dom sub.
Right, close my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm so scared. I'm scared.
Keep them closed.
What is it? Is it sharks? It's sharks! Is it sharks? Fuck! Oh, guys.
So just to recap,
Fuck my life.
second chance, Dom/sub, sharks.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay.
Do you need a minute or are you ready to go?
No, I'm ready. I'm spitball. I'm just going off what's off the top of my head.
Okay, here we go.
So my thinking is, they're like childhood romance, childhood sweetheart.
Yeah.
They live by the sea.
Okay.
obviously.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. I'm thinking like they were together from when they were like 12 to 16.
Okay, nice.
They live by the sea. He has gone on to be like a world famous scuba diver.
Oh,
Yeah.
you said this to me before about sharks and scuba divers. Yeah. Like
and
that.
like I'm gonna say is like he like works with sharks. That's how I'm gonna bring some of the sharks in. Yeah.
Can I just say, when I was thinking sharks, I thought that the love interest was going to be a shark. And Alice said no, because you can't have bestiality. And I said, what if he's only a shark sometimes?
Like Victor Crumb. I'm sorry to be boring that I'm not gonna have her fuck a shark. Okay, but I'm gonna be like, okay, here I go. Yeah. There is this one shark, because you know how you like tag sharks and stuff.
Yes.
And
I know it well.
You can track sharks.
Yes.
I'm going to say that she has like a dad who's like gone missing at sea.
Okay. Like it.
Yeah. And then
It's very sea based. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a shark. I'm not going to put them at SeaWorld.
Well, we
Do you know what I mean?
could have been in an aquarium.
No, we're at sea. And I'm going to say when
We're at sea.
I'm going to be like, I don't want to make this shark a villain. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to name the shark. Why can I only think Graham?
He's called Commander Gore.
He's called Commander Gore. Yeah. The shark is called Commander Gore after Graham Gore.
Because she's read Ministry of Time.
No, that's his given name. That's the shark's name that they have on the tag.
What do you mean that's
The
his
shark-
given name? Like when he was christened? What are you on about?
When the shark was baptized. No, like the sharks that they track, they give them names. I'm like pretty certain of it.
Okay, yeah, but the person who was doing the tagging,
Yeah.
just remembered.
Yeah, so the person who did the tagging
That was his mum called him. That's his given name.
called it Graham after Graham Gore. And yeah, her dad went missing at sea. He did the work that her boyfriend did as well.
Oh, but they're not boyfriend and girlfriend right now.
No, but
Yeah.
they were when they were, because they were childhood sweethearts.
And he was inspired by the
the
dad.
dad.
Oh, that's
the dad
great.
went missing at sea.
Yeah.
And all we know is we don't know where anything is, because I don't want to make the shark a villain, but
He was looking for that shark?
he was looking for that shark, and the shark was seen in the area of where the dad was last seen.
So she's like,
Graham
that shark killed my dad.
She's like, that shark killed my dad.
Commander Gore killed my dad.
Yeah.
And therefore, I was also supposed to be a professional scuba diver, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because I've developed a fear of the sea.
Yeah.
So she lives somewhere.
Developed a fear of sharks in specific.
Yeah.
And so then when he was like, when her boyfriend, her childhood sweetheart was like, I'm going to be like your dad. I'm going to go and work with the sharks, and listen, we're not seeing Graham on the on the pingers anymore. On the, what are they called? On the
Like sensors.
yeah, on the sensors anymore. And we're worried something's wrong with Graham. So I'm going to go and work on that project about Graham. And she's like, how could you fucking go and work with the shark who killed my dad?
I think he needs to be older. He can't be 16
No,
and being
but
like,
this
I'm
is
going
when
to go
he's
work with
I'm going to do it.
Graham.
I'm going to go into training. Okay, he's 18, 20, say. Okay.
I think, he could be 18.
And
then
she's
you
like,
adults.
fuck you for putting this shark above our relationship.
You're prioritising Graham when you should be prioritising me.
And he's like, I am obsessed. Like, this is my life's goal, is to go and work with sharks.
And to figure out what happened with your dad.
But he doesn't tell her that. That comes about at the end.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't believe you put my Graham over my dad. And he's like, it was all for him.
Yeah, but the whole time he's actually been trying to figure out what happened to her dad.
I love that.
Right? Yeah. And then so she goes off,
Right.
does something else. She becomes like a pastry chef or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be something like Twee.
Yeah.
She has a bookshop.
Yeah, exactly.
But
she has a bookshop and she's like, no shark books.
And she's like, I'm inland.
Yeah. I moved out of state.
She doesn't even drink water.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, God, I can't do anything. The smell of salt. She's like, fuck. She can't do anything.
You can't have sushi because she can't have seaweed.
Yeah, it's all too much.
Devastating.
But okay, let's say something brings her back. Okay, right, here's this. Yeah, she's opened a bookshop somewhere inland, but the reason she did that is because her mum has had a bookshop outland. By the sea.
By the sea bookshop.
And her mum's like, listen, I've been doing this by myself for too long now. I'm going to sell the shop and I can't do it. And she's like devastated.
Don't sell the
She
shop,
can't
Mum.
do it.
Yeah.
So it brings her back to the sea, back to the oceanside town. She's like, oh my God.
Terrified.
Who's still there? Her boyfriend.
What's he called?
Over time, like Ezra. Yeah. Ezra, and she's like called like Lucky or no, something like something stupid.
I was thinking like Lily.
Something to do with the sea. Has to be something to do with the sea.
Oh,
Dolphin. She's called Dolphin.
Kelp.
She's just called Ocean, I reckon.
Yeah, she's called Ocean.
She's called Ocean.
That's nice. Ocean and Ezra.
Ocean and lovely, actually.
Really very nice.
Because she's not been back to the town in so long because she can't be near the sea. That like Ezra has become like is very involved in her mum's life now as well, and is like the son that she never had because who knows where his parents are. They're pricks. Obviously, they're off somewhere.
He's an orphan.
Yeah, He's an orphan. His parents were lost at sea.
His parents were also not everyone can be lost at sea.
No, I think like he's just got a bad relationship with his parents or something.
Yeah, his parents don't understand the sea. His parents are like inland people.
Yeah.
He came to the town. He came to the town when he was like a young teen.
Yeah.
And he was staying with like an eccentric aunt.
Yeah.
Who was a friend of the dad's.
Yeah.
And then when the dad died, the aunt was like, you've got to do this for him and for her, for Ocean.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, aunt, I will. And then his aunt died.
Maybe the aunt died and that's why she comes back as well. The aunt's died.
And they go to the funeral.
And it's at sea.
And
the funeral is, no, just like by the beach. I didn't mean they're like chucking the body off a boat. I didn't mean that.
It's at sea.
It's at sea.
And the first time they see each other is at the funeral.
Yeah.
He's like turning, tears in his eyes. She's there. She's got like long wavy hair.
Yeah, and it's like blowing in the wind. And
Yeah.
she's like, I forgot how much
the ocean
good
breeze.
ocean breeze did such wonders to my hair. Like she has her hair pinned straight when she's inland, but then she's by the sea and suddenly it's like, oh my God, look at my ocean gal, look at my wave. Suddenly I've got a shell in my hair. And I've got a bit of a flower in my hair, shell necklace back on. I'm tanned, off I go. Okay, we have to bring the Dom sub into it.
I forgot about the top
What
sub.
I want to say is that he has
He's
to be...
the sub.
He's the sub. He has to be so in control in his own life because he's working with sharks. He's in the shark cage all the time. And he's like, I've got...
What's the shark?
Well, you go in shark cages and they put you in the water and you're in a shark cage.
He's not
and it's
doing that.
how
He's a professional scuba diver. He's not in the shark cage. Like,
Oh, okay. He's just swimming with sharks sometimes then.
I think so. I think the shark cage is like a tourist thing.
Oh, okay. I don't know. He's doing the thing, you know, where you see things or like, have you ever had the TikToks of like, what to do if a shark comes near you? It's like, put your hand firmly on its nose and push it away.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing all the time.
Also, they're like friendly. They're not great whites.
No.
They're like
And he's
basking
doing,
sharks.
well, so I reckon sometimes he's out there. I reckon Graham's a great white.
You think Graham?
Yeah, one of the big shark. Graham's a big old scary shark.
like really scarred.
Yeah.
And old.
Yeah, exactly. And he has to be so in control at work that he's like, you know, I've got to let loose.
I was really loving this, and then we had to put in the dog
I
sub,
know,
and now I'm like, oh
fuck.
God.
And she's like, I reckon she again she's quite an anxious person because of all of that. But so then when she's in the bedroom, she likes almost putting on this character, being very like being in control and being like very dominating. I think the obvious one we've got to put in here, I would say choking, but I'm also like, I kind of love this. To me is the like second chance romance, a great trope that goes very well with a bit of dry humping, in my opinion.
It's dry hump central.
It's like she goes to talk to him at, you know, he's got a rehabilitation centre for water animals, obviously.
Oh,
and
I
she
love
goes
him.
to like talk to him there, and she like, they're having a bit of an argument, a bit of back and forth about like what he says to her mum or something, you know, stop putting your nose in with my mum. And he's like, well, you're never bloody here to put your own nose in. And she's like, you know, it's that big tension moment where they're like looking at each other like, oh, yeah, fuck. He's got like a wetsuit on halfway down.
oh yes.
He's like getting on, like she walks in to have this go at him and he's like getting undressed.
because he's just like been in the tank. Yeah, he's been in
yeah.
the tank. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes really into like, this is exactly like it was when we were kids, you know, you can never let up, and he's like, and you don't know how to have a good fucking time or something, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, you want to see a good time? Would a good girl do this? Snog. Big snog.
Yeah.
That turns into a pin against the wall. I'm thinking Ryan Shea leg
Oh,
action.
he's got to hump her leg.
No, I think you can just have that. You can have that first thing.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
he does the classic thing of being like, oh, we can't do anything more. We can't do anything because I have to tell her that I'm really kinky and like being a sub or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they do. And she's like, oh, actually, this really works for me because I can be like completely in charge. I can tell you what to do. I don't have to worry about you like I do when you're at sea.
Yeah, you're completely like in my control and in my care.
Yeah. And
Because when you're at sea, I'm worried you're going to get eaten by Graham, just like my dad
yeah,
did.
yeah, exactly.
Is her dad alive?
No. Her dad's dead, but I reckon they like find his ship up against a random island that is there inexplicably. They find, you know, or they find something and there is a level of closure. Maybe they find
like,
a diary.
They're out on a big mission. Inexplicably, she's also there.
Because she's like, I think I would feel better if I could see what you do, actually.
Yeah,
and I could see Graham.
Then they're following Graham, and they follow Graham to this island.
Yeah.
Graham's got a family of sharks.
On the island. They're land sharks.
Around the island, they're like, oh, Graham's actually got a baby.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'm warming to Graham. And then they
On the island, they find his ship, his raft, and they're not going
to find his...
We'll skirt over the remains. But he would just be a skeleton because this is like 16 years in the future or 10 years in the future.
Bleak.
No, but I'm thinking they find like a diary and it's like...
He's like, I've spent all my time watching Graham.
Yeah, and he's talking about Graham and like how, you know, I can't believe Graham's got a family that I've discovered. I can't wait to get home. And then he like gets lost and he's writing about how he's like lost. And then there's like a fight. It's really sad. It's a tearjerker. But there's like a letter of being like,
Dear Ocean.
I just wish I could, you know, tell Ocean how much I love her and how proud I hope she has the love. We named her because of our deep love for the sea. And I hope one day she is the same thing. I hope one
Ezra's
day...
a great guy, by the way.
Yeah. P.S. Ezra's quite sexy, isn't he?
And they find like a...
And he's like informally named one of Graham's shark children Ocean.
One of the shark children?
One of the
that
shark
would be
children.
10 years old by the time they got
And
there.
huge.
And do they find like amongst his stuff, wedding ring?
And then he proposes.
On the island where her dad starved to death.
I think maybe not. Let's crash over that.
Okay, but what's it going to be called?
Trying to think of any kind of shark pun. Or beach or sea. See me again.
Oh!
See me again.
See me again.
Spell SEA, obviously.
Fantastic.
Slay. Right, let's spin some more wheels, baby.
Spin that wheel. Okay, so first we've got trope. What am I going to get?
Oh. Best friend's brother.
That's
a classic.
That's a
That
great one.
is great.
Thank you, everyone.
Sex trope.
No! It's bad dirty
That's
talk.
bad dirty talk.
Ugh.
Do you want to do... I reckon we could each have you get to spin again.
I'd like to spin again,
You'd
Your
like
Honour.
to spin again? Okay, I won't remove it. If you get it again, you're doing it.
Fuck. It's...
OnlyFans.
Okay.
OnlyFans. Best friend's brother, OnlyFans. And
What if I get stepbrother in this one now?
I don't know, it'll be confusing.
Okay, I'm not looking.
Oh, this is really good. This is really good.
What is it?
Stag. Stag or hen do.
Okay.
Oh, that's a classic. Best friend's brother with a stag or hen.
I think because it's OnlyFans, in honour of For the Fans, I'm going to do 2 men.
Slay.
It's not like a super complicated one.
No.
Like, I'm basically like...
The brother's getting married, surely.
The brother's getting married. No, the best friend is getting married.
Yeah. Sorry.
Obviously,
What?
the brother's getting married. I'm
No.
like, where are we going with this? The brother is getting married.
No, the best friend's getting...
All right. The best friend's getting married. So the best friend can be a girl.
If you
I
want.
feel like that's nice. They've been best friends, this guy and this girl, for like a long time. Childhood best friends. He has always thought, what am I going to call him? Jack. He has always fancied his best friend's brother.
What's the best friend's brother called?
He is called... my head immediately went, Stuart.
Oh, no, that sounds too... In my head, I'm like Paxton. Like something
Paxton.
American and ridiculous.
What about Patrick?
Yeah.
I like Patrick.
All right, challengers. They're called Art and Patrick.
But he has always thought that Patrick was straight.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really know that much about him. He was never really that forthcoming.
Is it like the mystery of Patrick is...
The mystery of the older brother. He's not that much older. He's only 3 years older.
Yeah.
But they used to like hang out all the time. It's giving like they were in the Glee Club. They were in choir.
Okay. You're losing me.
Jack and Grace.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
nice,
call her.
nice.
Were in choir together. Choir friends. And
Oh,
Jack...
I thought you meant Patrick was in the choir and I was like,
No. Jack has gone on to become like a semi-famous musical theatre star. Grace just like works in PR.
Yeah.
What's my sex act? OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Right, fucking hell. Okay.
So
So
they're planning the hen do together, surely. That's what I would have gone for. Or that at least Jack is planning the hen do.
well, maybe she has to be, because why would the brother be there?
Because they're really close. Grace and Patrick
But I
can be
don't
really
think he
close.
would come on the hen do, would he?
Well, yeah, if she's got loads of like... If
It's
her-
a hag. It's a hag.
Yeah, if a lot
Okay.
of her group of friends are men, because Jack's coming, aren't
she
they?
also works... She doesn't actually work in PR. She also works in musical theatre.
She's a lesbian.
She's
as
lesbian.
well.
She's lesbian. It's like a hag. Yeah, it's a hag do. or Sten, whatever they call it. She's like, I just really want you to plan it with Patrick. I just feel like I really want him to be involved. Like, I haven't been seeing him much. Like, he's become like weirdly, really private. He spends a lot of time by himself in his house, you know, maybe doing it. Like,
listen, we share an Amazon account and he's like been buying loads of ring lights and like camera lenses. And I'm like, what's going on?
I'm really confused. And so I just want you to like do this with him and like bring him into the group, because like we've got this really like nice group of friends from the musical theatre community, and I just feel like, you know, when we were in school and we always wanted him to join the choir and he never would, blah blah blah,
etc.
But actually Patrick is a natural performer.
Oh, he's performing something.
He's performing something. And then
I was just gonna, maybe it's like his friends, like another reason he's becoming quite like isolated is that a lot of like Patrick's friends are like very like heteronormative, not particularly sex positive kind of people, and they had inklings about the OnlyFans and were like, that's grim.
And Patrick's bisexual.
Yeah, obviously.
Jack's at the point in his life where he's feeling like all of his friends from work are starting to get married, like Grace, to her girlfriend, and her girlfriend's going to be called Jennifer.
Nice.
But everyone calls her Jen with 2 N's.
Yeah, of course.
She's a lesbian.
I got that from the 2 N's.
So he's kind of like, oh, I'm just like so sick of looking for love, and I've been going on loads of dates, it's not working out because some people recognise me. Because I'm a semi-famous musical theatre actor and I've been in a couple of things.
And everyone's trying to network.
They start to... I'm going into so much detail here.
Yeah.
They start to plan, and it's kind of like... It's like a bit Grumpy Sunshine as well, because it's like... he's like quite hard to bring out of his shell. He's got Patrick's got like a really weird schedule. He's never like... He like is always awake all night and never available in the morning. And Jack's like, I can only do the mornings because I work at night.
Oh, can I give you
Yes, you can. Yeah.
What if the whole thing of when they're planning it is that Jack is like, I really want to give her like the best hen do ever, but we live in New York City and I'm like on actors' money and I'm not like name brand, I'm not Aaron Tveit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not making loads of money and I just wish I could give her more of it. Yeah. And he's like, I can contribute.
Yeah, Patrick has loads. Yeah, that's great. Patrick has like all this money and he's like, where's all this money coming from? Fast forward, Jack, after a show one night, gets really drunk, ends up at Patrick's house because he's got the secret crush on him that he's not admitting, but he's admitting it to himself. Ends up at Patrick's house. Patrick answers the door and he's like half naked. He's like, what are you doing here? Jack's like, let me in.
Jack's like,
bitch.
I've had a great idea of something we could do
about the hen. Woo. And he like basically busts in, and then he sees like all of this stuff everywhere, OnlyFans paraphernalia, and he's like, what are you doing? What
if there's a guy like leaving?
Oh yeah,
like zipping up,
and he's
like
ready
to go, and Jack's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. And he's like, oh, and the guy's like, it's fine, it's just work.
And he's like, are you a sex worker? And he's like, well, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's like, it's totally okay if you are. Like, I'm super sex positive guy.
Yeah.
Sex work is legitimate work. Like, he's really going in of trying not to be like, I don't want to like.
And Patrick's like, okay, it's OnlyFans. Okay, I've started doing OnlyFans because
it's going really well because I'm really hot.
Because I was trying to live my dream of being a carpenter who makes bespoke furniture, like Channing Tatum.
Like your carpenter.
He's not doing OnlyFans. Okay, you don't need that much more of the plot. Basically, Jack does OnlyFans with him, I think. No, actually. So, okay, the miscommunication is Patrick's like, you should do it with me one time.
Yeah.
Jack's like, I can't. I'm a semi-famous actor.
Yeah.
And then Patrick's like, you're right. I should never ask that of you. But Jack's like, I would never ask you to stop. I want you to carry on. I think this is great, babe. Let's use all the money to pay for Grace's head.
Also, what if Jack gets involved, but like off camera? In terms of like
he's giving him like acting lessons.
Yeah, or he does a bit of acting lessons of how he can be more believable. I'm saying some people then can notice, the fans that with the parasocial relationship can be like, oh my god, babe, notice something like different about you, like you got a twinkle in your eye, and then like something that gets him really big on OnlyFans is Jack is like behind camera doing like a bit of dirty talk.
Oh my
doing
God.
A bit of like directing him of, oh, you know, do this, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, because how am I making it sexy? So far it's just like quite a nice story.
Yeah. So I reckon then there's like niche sex scenes of like him doing things, or you get like Jack does POV stuff. So you never see Jack.
Yeah.
But Jack will be like holding the camera whilst he's like going down on him or something.
Yeah.
Hot, actually.
And I think I would. It's butt stuff for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then maybe they have a bit of a like,
But
what's our relationship with sex between the two of us when it's private? Interesting combos, handled very well because I'm writing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very important thing to do. They have a conversation of like, this is what we do when we're on camera, when you're on camera, and this is how we do things.
Do we do anything different when we're off camera?
Have like a really hot conversation of being like, well, this is what I like, this is what I like. And then you can have a bit of dry humping as well.
Then you can have dry humping.
Perfect.
What's it called? For the fans.
Something on the stage.
Only you?
Only you. Oh, yeah, like OnlyFans, but only you. Yeah. Or I was going to say like behind the curtain. Something, you know what I mean?
Like, it's not going to be about the stage very much.
No.
The stage is in the background.
Yeah, only you's quite good. Or only for you. Something like that.
Only for you is quite nice.
Yeah, like that can tie into the conversation of this is on camera, this is off camera.
Yeah.
And it can be like really different, like what they do on camera and what they don't.
Yeah.
Of like one of them really tops on camera and the other one.
And that stuff is only for you. And then I'm like, he said it.
Yeah. That's the name of the book.
There we go.
There we go.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that.
Smash that.
We should be doing this for a living.
Okay.
Spin that wheel.
This is the tropes. Fake dating, baby. Fake dating.
Did you want that one?
I'm thrilled. I fucking love fake dating.
Now the sex act. Right. It's gentlemen in the streets, freak in the sheets. That's a hard one. Okay, close your eyes.
I'm so concerned of what it's going to be because the combination's going to be so... What is it? Is it fantasy?
No, it's your favourite one.
Is it chalice?
Yes! Woo! Chalice, chalice, chalice. Okay, so to recap, we've got fake dating, a gentleman in the sheets, freak in the sheets, and chalice. So you've had shark and chalice.
I've had shark and chalice.
What's going on?
That's crazy. Okay, right. So obviously, guys, he's a cellist. First and foremost,
he's a cellist, not
he's a cellist. I want to say he's a cellist. She's a conductor.
Oh,
she's an up and coming conductor.
Ooh, sexy.
Yeah, and he's a cellist. He's the first cellist.
Why was I like
really sexy about conductors?
I find conductors.
And I want to say, that she has been like the conductor's like protege. This conductor, he's an old white guy, classic. He's been on the scene for years and years and years. He's really famous. He has been mentoring her for a really long time. They have a really nice relationship, like a nice like father-daughter type relationship.
I was going to say that the reason they have to fake date is because her mentor's like, you're never going to get anywhere.
No, I was... okay. Well, we'll see. But let me tell you my thought.
Yeah, please do.
And this guy, this conductor, he's like really, really specific. Like he's very anal about everything to do with his orchestra. He's very big perfectionist.
Yeah.
And so he gets really ill. Like he has like a dramatic, like he falls off the fucking stage or something, you know, something
off his podium. Yeah.
And breaks both of his legs.
Breaks both his legs?
And both of his arms.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's like dramatic. She's the only person that he will let continue because she knows how he likes things done all the time, blah blah blah. So she's like, oh fuck, I can't believe I'm gonna have to do this. Number one cellist, his name is Connor. That's what I'm going for. Connor.
I love Connor.
Think huge golden retriever vibes.
Oh really? No, because we're doing enemies to lovers, aren't we?
No, we're doing fake dating.
Oh, sorry.
And freak in the sheets.
Yes, of course.
So
in my head we were doing enemies to lovers.
He's like sick and like really sickly sweet. But everyone loves him. Everyone's like, Connor, high five, buddy. You know, all of that stuff.
They're like, he's the leader. He's the first. I mean, the first child is not the leader of the orchestra.
But he is in this.
But they're like, he's like the he's the actual leader. We all hate the first violinist.
Yeah, when everyone is like down and out about their conductor falling off and they've got a big gig coming up or something, everyone's like, oh, what are we gonna do? It's gonna be so bad. We're gonna be shit. We're not gonna be able to perform this gig.
The Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah, and Connor's like, guys, listen. We know if we pull together, we can do this as a group, blah, blah, blah.
We can do it without a conductor. And then she walks in and she's like,
he's asked me to conduct. And everyone's like, ew. You know, we're playing at the Royal Albert Hall next week.
Who the fuck are you?
And you're going to do it. And like, I'm imagining that the OG conductor, what's a really eccentric man's name? Giles. Yeah. Giles is the OG conductor. He's gone.
Don't answer, I forgot one.
Yeah. What's a really like quirky girl's name then for her?
Like Charity.
No.
Aww.
Hate that. I hate that. Something else.
What's the musical?
Oh no, we already did Ocean for the Sea.
Yeah, but this is what they're like.
I know. What about like
Melody?
Absolutely not. Treble clef. Her name's name's Viola.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
her name's
great.
Viola. She goes in and when after Connor's had to do this big rousing speech, and she's like, actually, guys, I'm doing it. And they're like, what? And she like holds up an iPad, and Giles has like filmed himself in bed being like, guys, listen, does this really like stupid speech around like, and you will listen to Viola, blah 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 blah, but accidentally goes, and I know she's not got that much experience, and I know she's I know blah blah blah, like puts all this doubt.
She's
in
only 6 months out of music college.
Exactly, all of that stuff. But she's going to be great, guys. So you just listen to her. I've taught her well. She'll do everything.
And they're all like, this is never going to work.
Yeah, they're all like, this is never going to work. She's trying to lead this orchestra. They're all like shitting on her basically all the time. No one's listening to her. The first violinist is literally like flicking her hair in her face, and like she'll go up to them and try and be like, hey, I think actually, you know, if you play it like this, blah, blah, blah. And they're like slamming their instrument cases shut and being like, okay, hun, and like walking away. And then like the orchestra room clears and Connor comes up to her and he's like, rough day, and she's like, shut up. Like she gets the ick from him because he's so like sickly sweet, and she's like, oh, shut up, Connor, you wouldn't even know the half of it. And he's like, I think I would actually, babe, like, you know, it's really like, you listen, you know, when I first joined, people didn't think a lot of me, and now look at me, I'm the first cellist. All of this stuff, blah blah blah.
People used to think I wasn't very good because I sort of looked like a dog.
Yeah,
but actually I'm very good at the cello.
Yeah, and he's like, don't let the bow tie, I don't want him to be Aiden, but I'm like, but I don't want to be like, don't let the fedora fool you. Like,
no!
Do you know what I mean?
Why is he an incel?
I know, well, that's what I'm trying to say. He's got to have, like, don't let the, you know, he's got a mad trainer collection or something. He's wearing different trainers every day. Something nerdy and very sweet
he's
about
got, like,
him.
really specific, like, a sticker collection on his cello case.
Yeah, yes.
Don't let the stickers fool you, babe.
That's a great one.
Thank you.
That's a great one, yeah. Of, like, from everywhere they've been.
Yeah, which is actually lovely.
Lovely, yeah. Don't let the stickers fool you. Like, you know, I've had to work really hard too, and let me tell you, I can work hard. But something with a bit more innuendo behind it.
I can work hard in the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
And you're like, okay.
And she's like, oh, sure, whatever. And then he's like, listen, I can help you out. You know, people for whatever reason seem to really respect me.
Yeah.
If we dated, then like that would be great, because then you would get the respect because people will follow my lead and knowing that they like you.
Okay.
And say, because I've got a weird idea.
He proposes that they do, not actually proposes, but he suggests he proposes.
Crazy.
He suggests the fake dating because he knows who she is, because she sometimes posts videos of her online conducting at music college, and he's like a secret fan.
Yeah.
So it's like fake dating for her, but maybe it's not fake dating for him.
Like she posts all these different like arrangements that she does of different like choirs and different orchestras that she works with.
Like Anna Kendrick in Pitch Perfect.
Just like Anna Kendrick in Pitch Perfect.
I feel like just randomly being like, and we should fake date is a bit like rogue.
But then that he's a big fan of hers, but also I'm thinking like he's got very, very like snotty parents, and who are coming to see him at the Royal Albert Hall. And even though it's like all of that, like he has to compete with his brother who's got like a wife and 2 kids. So in a panic, he's like, yeah, mum, well actually I do have a girlfriend, and she'll be at the concert at the Royal Albert Hall, blah blah blah.
And then so he's like, it's this girl, she's the conductor.
Yeah, exactly. We see that in his POV. So she's like, what's in it for you? And he's like, well, I kind of did tell my mother. So then they are fake dating for that purpose.
Yeah.
It works. People do start to respect him more because he's really like, hey guys, don't chat shit. She's actually very, very talented. Mm-hmm. And I reckon as well, at one point he accidentally let slip that about her like profile that she didn't want them to know about, because she didn't want people to laugh at her or think she was like less than. But as people like more and more respect her, she starts like drifting away from Giles's super strict arrangement, and it's like, timpani, do this bit different. Hey, brass section, what if we tried it like this, blah blah blah.
Everyone in the orchestra is kind of like,
but then they're like,
this is kind of working.
Apart from that one violinist who's like, I'm going to play it Giles's way.
And at the end, she gets pushed off the stage.
Yeah. No, I was going to say Giles won't let anyone visit him, but the violinist at one point like worms her way in and tells him what's going on. And she's like, yeah, and Giles is here at the concert and he's going to be really pissed off. But actually Giles is like, it was amazing, well done, blah, blah, blah. And what was the sex thing I had to put in?
A gentleman in the streets freaking the sheets.
Okay, so then he's obviously very nice boy, very golden retriever energy, super polite, to the point where I want readers to be a bit like, ew.
Like, is this him?
Where he's like holding the door open for people for like they're too far away, you know? And he's like, no, I've got to wait. And there's going to be like some weird thing about like it's all to do because he wants to impress his parents.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But then behind closed doors, And I'm thinking when he's there, when he's playing the cello, when he's at rehearsals, yeah, he is in like shirt, big knitted like Weasley style jumper over the top. He's got his little glasses on, his hair's all messy, blah, blah, blah. And then for whatever reason, they're fake dating and they go to this gala and she sees him in a suit, in a tux. And she's like, okay, wow, he's actually really hot.
No, they do like a practice concert before the Royal Albert Hall. And they all have to dress fancy.
Yeah.
And then he gets all dressed up.
And he's in his tux and she's like, slay. And then they all go for dinner after that, like the whole orchestra and them. And everyone's like getting ready to say goodbye and they're all saying goodbye and they're like going to go separate ways. And then the violinist is like, shouldn't you be taking your girlfriend like back to her house or whatever? And he's like, oh yeah, I guess so, blah, blah, blah. So he goes with her back to her house then because of that. And then like I'm thinking they're on the night bus or the night tube or someone accidentally like spills a drink over him. So or throws up on him or something. Crazy London stuff. So she's like, oh, come on, like have a shower at mine and then like you can go back. But then that's when she sees him and he is jacked.
Yes.
He is tatted to the gods.
Yes.
And it's like that kind of thing where like when he's playing the cello, he like has maybe, I want to say like one tattoo on his hand, like on the back of his hand. And she's like, oh, I wouldn't expect that of him. But, you know, he's got one little tattoo, like whatever, blah, blah,
normal
blah.
stuff, yeah.
And then he's like, no, he's like jacked. He's like absolutely tatted. He is like literally bad boy, you know.
And like, big penis.
Big penis, big penis.
And okay, so he's... No, I was going to say, then you have the wanking in the shower scene. But then I was like, not at her flat.
Not at her flat. No, I'm thinking then that is like, that before that they've had to like kiss a few times at different points to make it believable. Yeah. And it's been a bit like, been a bit hot and bothered where
yeah, it's like where all fake dating where you have like the one kiss where you're like, what? And then the one kiss where you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, where like, you know, someone walks out and they're stood by a car and she's like, oh, just kiss me. Or whatever, and he's like, okay, does it? It's like a peck, and then she goes, no, you have to make it believable. And so he fucking like snogs her, and then like everyone goes or something, and then when he stops kissing her, he's like, was that believable enough for you? And she's like, yeah.
She's like, who are you?
Yeah, she's like, who are you, and what have you done with my cellist? Classic. She goes and has a shower after him, and she comes out and he's looking at some of her arrangements or stuff.
Yeah.
And he's really encouraging her to actually, no, we should do this one. This big change to what Giles has said, we should do this one.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I can't, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what if you just, you know, went with the flow? What if you let go a bit? What if you loosened your bow? And then they fuck. And I'm going to be like, he is like, you know, like ties her up.
Ties her up!
Yeah, we got to make... I'm not doing this bullshit thing of window shopping where he's like, don't let the bow tie fool you. I know how to have sex in the missionary position.
And nothing more.
You know, I want him to be like good, dirty talking her to the gods.
Yeah.
Maybe a smack on the arse.
Yeah.
You know?
Choking.
A bit of choking. Exactly. A bit of choking. Bit of butt stuff.
Everything, basically.
But everything. That like he's just a bit kinky. Nothing like that deserves its own name for it, but just is a bit, you know, is not a complete gentleman. I'm thinking like heavy on the day talk, but like good day talk, not Aiden day talk.
So it's kind of like, it's giving Beat vibes in the sense that he was like, because I had so much, I deprived myself. But he's like, because I had to be so controlled and my childhood,
so polite, just had to be such a good boy.
Like now I want to be a bad boy.
Now I want to be a bad boy. To the point that I'm like, I don't want him wanking in the shower because I don't think he cares that he's like dirty in private. I'm almost like, I want her to be wanking in the shower and her to be like thinking about all the different aspects of him that she really likes.
Yes, that's great.
And being like, I shouldn't be thinking about this. He's my cellist.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not like, it's not giving Beat I'm ashamed. And it's not giving Aiden, I'm talking about it all the time.
No.
He's just like, this is just who I am. I'm just like, sometimes I'm that person, sometimes I'm this person. I'm both of those things and that is who I am. And she's like,
what?
I'm only about conducting and nothing else.
Yeah.
And he's like, sometimes you have to have more to your life
than
being a conductor.
Yeah. She's like, but I can't let Giles down because he's given me so much, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking as well, because even though he's like, this is who I am and this is who I am, and you just, you know, I am these two different parts of my life, is that then when it comes to the argument that they're going to have just before the big concert,
yes,
is that she's like, you say that you're this and you're that and that is fine, but you're not because your parents are here now and you fucking shriveled up back inside yourself. So don't tell me to let go. Don't tell me I should throw everything I've worked away for, my entire relationship with Giles. Stop pushing me. and that he's been like, but I know you can do it, and like, look guys, look at what she's done, trying to be like, to back her, build her up. He says to the orchestra, look at all this incredible stuff she's done, because like she's going viral now, like her arrangements are going viral, and she's being like, you shouldn't be showing them that, you should not be telling them that is me, blah blah blah. Has a big fight, and where she's like, you say you're all of this, but I've seen you kind of shrivel up inside yourself, calls him a bit of a hypocrite maybe, blah blah blah. And then I want to say, there's a big cello solo in the arrangement, obviously. So at one point in the show, he comes out and pulls the chair out, and they're kind of making eye contact. They're at the Royal Albert Hall, they're making direct eye contact. He's thinking about the fight. They're all in their like tuxes and stuff, and I want to say that he like takes off his jacket, rolls up his sleeves, and then like, you know, undoes his bow tie, so he's looking like sexy and a bit like, you know, bow tie around his neck sort of thing. And then he does his big cello solo, and then everyone else in the orchestra for the next song, she's like, okay, fuck it, does a little, guys, we're gonna actually do this arrangement now, blah blah blah.
And they're all like
woo, taking the fascinator out, you know, whatever it is, the heels are being kicked off or whatever, blah blah blah. Everyone apart from the first violinist, obviously, because afterwards she's like oh, she's like, I told Giles, and Giles is like, that was amazing, why did you never tell me you could do that?
You're fired.
To the first violinist. And then I reckon Connor's parents are still like, all right, whatever, but his brother is like, that was sick, I never knew you could do like that. You're so like fiery, like, oh my god, blah blah blah.
I always thought classical music was really
boring, but you've made it cool. And then they get back together. But I'm thinking on that stage, prolonged eye contact of like,
in silence, like he's pulling the chair's like
scraping.
She's like,
he's carrying the cello and the bow in one hand, and she's like, I wish I didn't find this so sexy right now, but I really do.
And then he's there, and she's like, you know, tap 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 with her baton on the thing, and he's like, and she's like,
there's like a bit where they're kind of like stood next to each other. He's facing the audience, she's facing the orchestra, obviously, and they're like
the way the arrangement works is he has to start unprompted, and she's like, start, and he's like,
he like hands his cello to her to like rest it, and then he takes off his jacket and does it all up, and she's like,
what are you doing?
And then there's like a review, like the epilogue's like a review, and it's like, who knew cellists should be so sexy, or something, you know, like up and coming conductor, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's a slay, I would read that. That's so
What's
good.
it called?
I want to say like maybe something like Another String to Your Bow. Ooh.
Yeah, because the whole point is like, you're not just one thing.
Yeah.
That was so good.
That was so good. Love that. Listen, guys, no one steal these and write them, okay?
No, do.
But then at least put us in the acknowledgements.
Because I'm like,
I might write that.
Please do.
What if I write a book and then you read it and you're like 2 stars? Devastating.
The smart was shit. That was a really good one, actually.
Right, let's do one more spin the wheels.
We're doing one more.
Together.
Okay, spin that wheel.
Hell yeah.
Okay, we've got age gap.
Age gap is our number 1.
Oh my god.
I'm
everything
scared.
that's left
everything
on the
that's on the sex
is
one
crazy.
is really bad. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
She can't come.
It's getting questionable.
Oh, monarchy. I mean,
any of these ones are quite good, actually.
Oh,
I want monarchy.
How are we doing step bro?
No.
You were like, any of them are good, but she won't do step bro. Can we just say let's do monarchy?
Yeah.
Because we want to do monarchy.
Guys, we want to do monarchy, and I'm just going to keep spinning this wheel until we get monarchy, basically.
Okay.
So, fuck it.
So to recap, that was age gap. She can't come. Monarchy. Oh.
She is. Yeah, she's princess.
She's princess.
She's princess. Or, actually, I take it back. I don't take it back. She's princess. She's next in line to the throne. Yeah. And then my first thinking was he's bodyguard. My second thinking is he's arranged marriage.
Old arranged marriage.
Well, how big of an age gap are we talking?
Are we in the past?
We can be in the past.
I think if we were in the past.
We're in the past. She's like 23. He's 34.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah?
I can accept it. I was like, can I?
I want to say, potentially, and hear me out here, is that potentially he's already had a wife who's died.
Oh, so we're doing afterlife as well?
Maybe in childbirth.
So we are in the... Okay, we're fully in the past. His wife's died in childbirth. Right, okay. And he's
Or the baby's dead as well.
Dead baby?
I think potentially.
Dead baby's killing my boner a bit.
Okay, baby's alive and well.
I think the baby's alive because I think then it's like she becomes the queen.
Yeah.
And that baby's there and it's cute.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't come. we're skipping forward, but she can't come, and she's like, well, what the fuck do you know about it? And he's like, well, I already had a wife and a baby, so I like know some stuff. And she's like, no man knows how to, please a woman. It's the past. And then he's like, let me show you.
Because I think as well, when they get married, yeah, he's like not thrilled to be there. And she's like, why aren't you thrilled to be here? I'm going to be the fucking queen.
And I'm young and fit.
I'm so hot and young. And like all of her maids have been like, you look so good, like blah, blah, blah. You look so... By the way, I'm going to take some real liberties with history here. I'm thinking more like...
She's got a history degree, don't question it.
Yeah, I do have a history degree. I'm thinking more like Reign, the TV show vibes. Did you ever watch that? It's about Mary, Queen of Scots, but they all wore stupid dresses. It's like Bridgerton vibes, where it's like Pitbull's playing, but it's their past.
That's been playing in my head for weeks.
I love it. Anyway.
It's like, it's kind of giving Bridgerton, but like better written.
Yeah.
And a bit more like dark.
Yeah. And like, so days go by, like they don't consummate the marriage or whatever. And her mum's like, have you fucking consummated the marriage yet? And she's like, I no, like he won't like, and to the point that where there's like a scene maybe where she's like in a scantily, like in a negligee.
So it is giving Bowen Bailey. She's like, I really want to do it, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
My wife's dead. My baby, I've got my baby here.
Yeah.
I've got my baby. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
We're just married.
And that like her mum or her like whoever who's in charge of her, telling her what to do.
Maybe her mum is dead, but she's got like an elderly sort of maid.
Yeah. Who's like, get the baby off to bloody boarding school then if that's what's taking up all his attention. And she's like, no, like that's a bit far actually, friend. Come on, let's calm down. Frida, but like all of her maids are like to her, like, listen, sex can be good, but it's better with yourself.
She's got loads of maids, and there's loads of like chatting amongst the maids,
and they're like
basically like her group of friends. Yeah.
And they're like trying to tell her how to wank, basically, and trying to explain to her what an orgasm is, and she just can't make it work. Oh, yeah, so embarrassing for her.
Every time she tries to wank, she thinks about all the responsibility that she's going to have in her future.
Yes.
And she's like, I just can't concentrate. And the maids are like, yeah, I don't really have that problem.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
I'm not going to be the queen.
I'm just going to go and shag the stable boy. Yeah.
Oh, slay. Yeah. Side piece.
Yeah.
That's the second book in the series.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking...
The queen, and she's like, I'm the queen now. Everyone's allowed to shag whoever they want because I was sexually liberated by my old husband.
Yeah. And I reckon maybe she says they're like questioning, like maybe he doesn't want to, maybe he's gay, like blah blah. Maybe that's it or whatever.
Maybe he has,
persuasion.
Secret persuasion.
And so she like she's like, right, go and spy for me. Sends one of her maids in and is like, seduce him. Like, I will not behead you if he fucks you. Like,
no. She's like, go and spy. Wanking scene where he's muttering her name.
Yeah.
Not in the shower because they wouldn't have showers in the house.
In the bathhouse.
She's like, draw him a bath.
Yeah.
See what's going on under the clothes.
Yeah.
Let's check he's not like, what if he's disfigured from war? Yeah. Let's check he's not disfigured. He's not. He's jacked. Obviously.
He's hot. He's really hot. I'm thinking a lot of chest hair.
Oh.
Like a good amount, not like he's wearing a jumper. Yeah.
And then the maid's like, sire. And then
put some lube next.
And then the maid, and she's like, okay, get him in the bath, and then like, see if he like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Does anything.
Yeah.
And so the maid's like, through the door. There's like a knot in the wood, and she's like,
no, but then she has to go and get the princess to be like, you've got to fucking see this. And the princess watches him wank because we need that.
Yeah.
Because that's when she's actually like, okay, maybe I actually do fancy him as well. Maybe it's not just like.
And then after she's seen that, that's when she wanks successfully for the first time. So he's not necessarily...
She can't come.
No, but like he's not necessarily like teaching her to come, but he's helping her to learn.
I reckon though that time when she wanks, then after that, watching him, that it's like she gets to the build up and then has the classic first orgasm panic and stops and it's like, what was that? But she doesn't actually come.
Oh my god, this is great.
Yeah, right. And then I reckon like she's like, okay, great. She builds up the courage. She's like, okay, he fancies me, sick, and I fancy him. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
She like builds up the courage. She like. But like, and they start building more of a relationship where she finds out he's really into like painting or something. And the kid, I want to say the kid is not a baby. The kid is like 6 or something.
She's hanging out with
and
the
kid comes up to her like, hello, my name's George. What's your name?
Are you my new mummy?
And she's like, I guess.
Do you see my dad?
And it's like, have you seen my dad? George says,
she's like,
my dad?
Yes.
wanking actually.
Seen him wank.
And then it's like they find out that, you know, they both she loves horses. She's a horse
Yeah,
girl.
they're really
and the
into
kid's
horse riding.
I've never got to ride a horse. And then she like takes the kid horse riding and he's like watching from the window like, oh my God, wow, blah, blah, blah. And so then they start getting to know each other through that.
Because the mum was killed by a horse.
I thought we agreed on in childbirth, but yeah.
Yeah.
On a
Well,
horse.
we did. But like, so he was like, I was always too afraid to take him on a horse in case he died. Like my wife died because my wife's dead and I can't love.
Yeah.
Then she just like takes him on a horse one day and
Yeah.
he's like, how could you do that? And she's like, look how happy he is.
And
he's like,
what's the problem?
you see my dad?
And then she's like, whatever the problem is between me and you, like they get in these arguments about the horses and whatever this problem is between me and you, we're going to solve it. Like come to dinner tonight sort of thing. And then he like goes into to her room or to the banquet hall or private dining room. I'm not sure how the past worked. And
the banquet hall, there's two of them at the other end. She's like,
no, but he walks in and he's like, hello, what's her name? We need to give her a name.
Oh, we didn't give her a name. Clara. No,
A past princess called Clara.
Okay,
I was thinking like Bridget, but
Bridget. I
can't love that.
Bridgerton.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What about
What about like she's called like Elspeth but Elsie, or Elizabeth and she's Elsie?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
or Lizzie.
That
She's
tracks,
Lizzie.
that tracks.
Yeah. Very original of us. A queen called Lizzie, crazy, and he's called something strong, like also George.
My brain went Marcus.
I want to say like something like Benedict, like something with.
Oh, he could be called Benedict.
Okay, yeah, let's call him
I
Benedict.
was giving Bridgerton.
It's giving
again.
Bridgerton, but it's fine.
Sorry, we've just been watching Bridgerton.
But imagine not artsy Benedict. Imagine grumpy bearded Benedict. Okay, that's what we don't think about Bridgerton.
Imagine Benedict, but he's had a wife, he's had a child. His wife died because she fell off a horse and she got a concussion, but it was the past, so she died from the concussion. He's gotten sad. He's gotten jacked because he's so sad. He's grown a beard.
He goes in and he's like, Lizzie? And she, instead of there being food, she comes out in a negligee. And he's like...
But like a full-length historical negligee. Yeah, lovely.
And she's like, ooh, well, you know, we've got to consummate this marriage eventually, you know, blah, 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 all of this shit. And he's like, I can't.
He's like, we are not doing this.
Yeah, really firm.
Yeah.
We are not doing this. And she's like, I don't understand why you do that. I heard you, you know, your private time, I heard you say my name. And he's like...
She's like, I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
But it seemed like you were having a good time.
Yeah.
And you were thinking about me.
And she's like, and when I do that, I think of you. So what's the problem? And then he's like, when you think of me.
Don't. It's too good.
Yeah, when he's really like, oh, you think of me, and what do you do? And he like gets her to describe like what she like wanking.
And then show
and
him.
then she's like, and then he gets her to describe the beginning of an orgasm, and she's like, oh, and then I just stopped because, you know. And he's like,
she's like, that's it.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, what do you know about it? And he's like, I have a kid.
Yeah.
I know. And a wife.
Yeah, and she's like, but I thought my maids told me that you weren't going to care about if I enjoyed it or not.
Yes.
And he's like close to her at this point. And now suddenly she's stopped being so like bratty and is suddenly being like, but my maid said that you... And he's like, well, your maids don't know everything. And then like goes down on her.
Slay. Someone write this book.
Guys.
I want to read it. Fucking Benedict and Lizzie.
Oh, slay. Love
Good
that.
Stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. And then from there on out, I think it's a lot of like, I think you'd go heavy on the teaching aspect.
And I think it would be quite a heavy on the smart book.
Heavy on the smart.
Because basically once you've been like, well, she's a princess, I'm like, where else are we really going with this?
And then I want to say like, it's not expected that she was going to be the queen anytime soon.
Yeah.
But then her dad dies.
Yeah.
Like later on in the book.
Defo.
And there's this big scene where she's like, oh, I've been on, you know, all of her advisors are like, don't let him be too, they try and like keep them apart.
Yeah.
Because they're like, he is not our king. He will not, you know, he's going to be, because obviously in the past he would have been king, but like, let's think of it more as in like how, you know, Philip was barely king. Well, he was barely alive, but you know what I mean? And like, her advisors are really trying to keep them apart and trying to like make the relationship less strong so he doesn't have a word in her ear.
Yeah.
Because he's like from Scotland or something.
Yeah. And then he would be like, I just want to help you, but she's like kind of been poisoned against him.
Yeah.
And she's like, you have no idea the pressure that I'm under. You have no idea how I feel about my dad being dead. And he's like, you think I don't understand? My wife is dead.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I'm your wife! Yes! Yes! And he's like, I'm sorry.
The mother of my
And then
child
and that he's
is
like, I
dead.
will never be able to not think of her. Look at my son. You know,
Look at my
son,
son.
pride is
Not the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
And she's like,
yeah.
and she goes really like, you know, but I'm his mother now, and it has to be really like, you listen, and because she's young, she doesn't understand all of that stuff then. And then when the dad dies, yeah, they have all of that kind of conversation and let it all out. Yeah, oh my god, that's good. My wife is dead, but I am your wife. That's sick. That's really good.
We're really good at this. This is crazy how good we are at this.
You guys, shall we write some books? They're the type of characters as well that when in the smut scenes they will fight and then fight and fight, blah blah blah, and it will be like neither of them will like submit. You know, that it will be really like, no, you fucking do this, do the thing with your tongue that I like, you know, sort of thing. Like they're both really like bossy to each other, but it works really well. People are like, oh, he's got so much power over the queen because he's always like whispering in her ear, like all of that.
But actually,
people are always saying that, but when he's whispering but when he's whispering in her ear, he's actually just saying like really dirty shit that's got nothing to do with like the politics going on.
He's like,
he doesn't care.
I don't want to be king.
Yeah,
I don't care about having power. I just wanted to have a stable life for my son.
Yeah.
His wife was the rich one.
Yeah.
And when his wife died, he didn't get any of the money for some reason.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just wanted to make a stable life for my son, and that's why I married you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that doesn't upset her because she's like, fair enough, it's the past.
And the reason why he got arranged to marry her is that his son's like grandparents, on like his ex-wife, his late wife's parents were like, yeah, go and marry the person who's going to be the queen of England next.
Yeah.
Because then our grandson will be in power.
Yeah.
So he was like, I was perfectly happy just going off and like being a farm, you know, living on my land with my son, but no, I've been, you know, almost blackmailed into doing this by my ex-parent-in-laws, blah blah blah. And then like, I think the way that their relationship builds the strongest is through her building the relationship with the kid. And then lots of smart, because she is really like, right, I enjoyed that, I'd like to learn some more.
What's it called?
I don't know, I want to say like a royal affair, but it's not an affair.
A royal agreement? A royal arrangement?
Royal arrangement.
I think a royal arrangement, possibly.
Yeah, the royal arrangement.
Because then you can be like, it's arranged marriage trope.
Yeah. And then when it's like the next one is about the maid and the stable boy, and it's like...
What are you going to say?
Cantering to love or something. And it goes on and on and on for 20 books.
Oh.
So what are our books that we came up with then? What was our first one? I want to remember their titles.
That was The Circus. So that was...
Oh, My Heart Flips a Beat. Flips a Beat. Yeah.
Heart Flips a Beat. Yeah, I was like, was that what it was? Because that's really good.
Yeah, My Heart Flips a Beat.
Heart Flips a Beat. Then we had...
See You Again.
See You Again.
Slay.
Then my OnlyFans Boys.
Only for You.
Only for You.
Then The Orchestra. And that was...
Another String to Your Bow.
Yeah. Another String to Your Bow. Yeah. And then A Royal Arrangement. Bestsellers.
We could just write them all.
Maybe we should.
Standalones.
Yeah.
Interconnected
standalones.
They're all in the same world. Some of them are at the circus, some of them are in the past.
Cellist is the great grandson of that young boy George. And his name is Connor George.
And that's why. When did his first name become the surname? And that's why his parents are so strict, because they're like, we've got royal blood.
We've got royal blood.
It all works.
But that is too like in their head, because their blood isn't actually royal. They were the stepson of the queen. But she loved him very much, and she was like, if I could give you the crown, I would. On her dying deathbed, she's like, you were the eldest of my children. I wish I could. You
were my true son.
Yeah.
You were my first true son.
You know, it is not
George.
Yeah.
I loved your father very much.
Oh.
And he loved your mother. Oh. Yeah. Write it.
Write it.
But I'm like, how else can we connect them?
Oh, okay. I've got one. You know the crazy aunt, the zany aunt from See You Again?
Yeah.
Cousin of the crazy conductor Giles.
Yes. Okay. So how are they connected to
the circus?
Yeah. And the other two. So it's a royal engagement.
A royal engagement is connected to another string to your bow.
Yeah.
And then another string to your bow is connected to See You Again.
Oh, right. Yeah. So,
and then
okay. So
See
then
You Again. Oh. Didn't we say her parents were like really inland careers?
His parents.
Yeah. Really, their career is that they are Olympic funders. And they are the funders of the people who fund her.
Oh, because they're the bad guys.
They're the bad
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. So he's like, oh, I hate my parents. They're like taking money away from this girl right now.
Yeah,
It's making me really upset.
yeah.
And
That's to
then
the circus, and then they have to connect the circus to the fans one, the OnlyFans one.
okay, Jen with 2 N's also works at the circus.
Because of the stagey, when they were touring Cirque du Soleil at the same time that Grace's show was touring. Yeah, Jen is in the circus with them, and she's like, yeah, I think like the lead gymnasts are all fucking each other. We should invite them to the stag because that's going to be crazy. That's going to be good gossip.
Yeah.
And we see the quad at the... Yeah, so good. And then we have to connect that then, Only for You, back to a royal arrangement.
Okay.
Oh, okay, here's one. Bear with me. Jack is currently workshopping a show based on their love affair.
Yes! Yes! You fucking smashed that.
That's so good.
Yes.
A musical.
Don't
Imagine
tell me how to
belting.
come. I know how to come.
No, they're belting of being like, I've lost my wife.
I am your
Yeah,
wife.
big pause. But I am your wife.
Now we're just doing a musical.
That was great.
Oh, wow.
Wow. We might do this again sometime because that was really fun.
That's so good. It's so nice to be creative.
Do you have any favourite?
My favourite one is the royal arrangement.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of just the details of like Jen with 2 N's, to be honest. That was great. My favourite...
She's a lesbian. Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, I can tell. She's got 2 N's. To be honest, just really funny that you were like... we are doing a reverse harem, but at the end they are all going to end up with one other person, respectively.
They are going to end up as monogamous couples and I won't hear anything else
I
about
won't
it.
hear anything else.
Yeah,
about
fair
it.
enough.
But also the miscommunication of that around her falling. It's genius. It's so good.
Okay, mine is the fact that the shark is called Graham.
Graham the shark,
And
his shark daughter Ocean. Ocean 2. So good.
and the fact that we had to like gloss over the fact that the dad's skeleton would be on the island. And they're just like,
no, but it'll be a bit of like someone will scream and she'll be like, what was that? And then like Ezra will run back around and be like, don't go around there, you don't need to go around there, don't go around
She's
there.
like, let me look,
Let me see him. But then it has to fade to black because I cannot read about a skeleton. And it's
then
like,
she's got to see her dad's skeleton, and then they go home and she chops him.
Yeah, and she's like, she like takes off her like wetsuit and it's like a full corset underneath. She's wearing like 7-inch heels under the wetsuit. It writes itself.
It writes itself.
Truly writes itself. I love that. I love royal arrangements so much though.
Oh,
That's so good.
my wife is dead.
I am your wife. Amazing.
We're geniuses.
We're geniuses.
Jen with 2 N's also works at Cirque du Soleil.
But
I
tracks.
but I feel like she's
behind.
Yeah, she's not an actor. She's like a stagehand.
Yeah, you know when we were saying that at the beginning,
She wears, like, a
someone
radio
shows our main girl around and is like, here are these people do that. That's
Jen.
Jen. And she's got like a Britney mic on and is like,
Sorry, hold on, love.
I wasn't listening to Jen anymore. I was too busy looking at the golden haired boys of...
But the 2 are golden hairs, and then whatever his name
I don't
was.
want them to look exactly the same. The friends. One should be very tan, golden hair, surfer vibes, and the other is like...
Edward Cullen.
Yeah.
The reason they're so popular at the circus is because when they're performed together, the contrast between them is beautiful.
Yeah. They do like a very like moon and sun situation.
Ooh.
And then the girl and the guy, the other guy, are like the stars in their act.
Because they're like
Shooting stars,
jumping
yeah.
and tumbling.
Yeah, because they're like those are the 2 that are in the air.
That's lovely.
Wow.
That's actually
God,
poetic,
truly
I'd say.
fantastic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We sure did. If one person tells me to write a single scene from any of these, I will do it.
Do it. One of you who messages on Instagram, please do it. Please make it the royal arrangement scene where they scream, my wife is dead, I am your wife.
We've already written that one.
Yeah, but I need the details.
Someone's gonna
and then
ask
the makeup fuck afterwards.
Or someone's going to ask, I want to see the scene where they find Ocean's skeleton dad.
The skeleton. That one's gone a bit like...
That's really cool. That's got such good like overarching.
Got good bones.
It's got good bones. But then it really actually, when you think about it too hard,
Well, I think
I didn't want to make the shark. I didn't want the shark to be the villain. I didn't want Graham to be the villain.
When we ended up on the deserted island, I was like, we've gone somewhere. We've gone somewhere where we shouldn't be.
thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on whatever podcast.
Podflux. Follow us just like everywhere. Go in the link tree. Follow all the things.
Follow
on there.
everything.
Follow everything you can possibly do.
Please. And comment. Send us some emails.
Emails.
We'd love to hear from you. We always enjoy hearing from you. So thanks so much. And we'll see you next time for a classic. It Happened One Summer.
We're doing it.
It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey.
To end, I will say I'm genuinely concerned it's going to be bad.
I'm really upset about my anxieties about it. I'm obsessed about the anxieties I'm having about it. Because let me tell you, last time I read this book, and I've read it twice, I rated it 4.5 stars.
And I'm like, it
can't be.
There's no possible way.
Tessa can't have declined that much. But
wow.
I'm scared. But
I'm scared. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.